So in this video we are going to discuss about the different types of 3D shapes and how to find their surface areas and volumes. Well, it comes really handy if you have those kind of formulas, because you can use them in order to do or find a number or a value which you can use in near future in order to save your money or in order to do everything just perfect. Well, I know many of the people who work in different kinds of things, but no matter in which field of science you have to use these kind of things in the actual career. Well, today we are going to discuss about the formulas and their derivation and how to calculate things of some volume using just the simple mathematics, and I'm going to explain it in a nutshell. So let's start. Basically we have 3D objects around us, right? We have those kind of x and y axis on which these shapes are drawn. It is a very small easy task to use a ruler and just make lines and draw a triangle. If someone says you to make a house, you will make a dot first, which means that dot is nothing but the geometry. It is a defineless thing. Well, you cannot use it, or you cannot say that I have a point with this magnitude or stuff. It has no value. That's why it is dimensionless quantity, which means it is giving you no context in order to anything, which means point is a dimensionless quantity, or what we call a zero dimension. But then you draw a line in order to make a base of your home. That base of line or the line is nothing but the starting point of dimension, which is the length. You can have a line only in the length and not in the widthness. Or if anyone asks you to draw a line, you will just take a pen and just make a line. Well, then you don't actually see if you are taking a marker or a pen, because thickness doesn't matter if someone says that you want to make a line. Now let's get further. If I take a paint stroke and just put it inside paint, and if I take a paintbrush with 1 centimeter width, then I can grab it and also make it perpendicular to that area in order to give you a area which is nothing but 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Well, what do you that mean? It has two types of dimensions. One is having the length. Well, mathematics is very complex, right? You also study 4-dimensional objects, which is not the topic of this video, but it becomes more and more complex as you get. Now at this point of time we have areas and many more things, like we are in the 2D. Well, it is just impossible to go from 2D to 3D. Well, many people try to make those kind of 3D objects. They are 3D, but it's a visual perception. It is only used, or it is only possible when you have two eyes pointing at the same object, and it is not possible when you have just one eye closed or one eye open. And that's the main reason why we have two objects, of course. Well, but you take the square, for example, the side with side x. Well, of course we don't know what's the side of the square, right? But we can still find its area using squaring function, right? We can just square it, or x multiplied by x gives you the thing or the comfort of giving you a area. Same goes for a rectangle. If you want to find its area, you want to multiply both of it. How will you find the perimeter? Well, it is just 4 into side, but for rectangle it's 2lb. If you have L and B, you can just add those so you get the corner one, and then you can multiply it by 2 to get the remaining portion. Same goes for the 3 objects. If I take a sheet with length L and breadth B, I can stack it a height h, and if I multiply all of them, I will get the volume of that paper stack. Contains a volume, which means it takes air inside it. If I have a glass filled with water, it is having water inside, which is nothing but the space of the glass itself. We know that if I have a glass and it has a height, but the thing comes here, we're going to study the volume and stuff about it. Well, that is a story for a different video. But now let's talk about the cuboid itself. Actual cube surface area. Well, you have a box and you want to cover it up for your friend's birthday party. What you will do? You don't want to get waste your paper, or you don't want to have some remaining portions without the paper or without the what. You should know the length, the breadth and height. Let's see. If you visualize a cube and just rotate it along, we know that it has around 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, we mean 6 faces, is a technique. We will make sure that we find the area of one face and then we will multiply it by 2, because we are just shooting parallel rays along the corners so that we also get a same figure at the side. Take a box with all sides parallel to each other. What you will do now is just find the area of one side and the opposite side will have the same area. Well, that's the beauty of mathematics. So we can find L into B multiplied by 2, so we get the breadth and height. BH, that 2 common outside, so we have 2LB plus BH plus HL. Notice that all and each of the quantity has been multiplying with 2 of its consecutive, like B has been multiplying with L and H is multiplying with L and B, and L is multiplying with B and H. Well, that's the thing, right? Yeah. But if you want to find the area of just one portion, right, for example, if you don't want to close the entire box, you have to open it, so you use a lid, then you can minus the top face, which is nothing but LB. So the new formula will be 2BH plus HL in bracket, of course, but you will minus the 2BL instead of just adding those in the entire formula. That is nothing but the lateral surface area. Same goes for the cube. We have 6 faces, one side pays around x square, so we'll multiply it by 6 to get the total surface area, and to find the 4 sides or the walls of the thing, we'll just multiply it by 4, so it becomes 4x square is the lateral surface area of square. Okay, now we are done with those things which we have. Now the story continues and we have those curved surface area which we will be studying in the next chapter.